So here we go. Welcome to another edition of Game Day, the show that will bring you the sights, the sounds and the thoughts from the KO Army. The final pre-season game here tonight at Portman Road, glorious Portman Road. I just had a nice little lasagna and garlic bread, so I'm happy. As you see, I'm excited. The team is out. I'm going to speak to good old Bono about that. But Southend are in town, now a National League side. So Bono, over to you. Let's get your thoughts. So I'm joined by good old Bono, AK Matt, AK View from you two, and your daughter's holding the camera for us, doing a fantastic job.
Doing a great job.
The team is out. Take it away, my friend. What is it?
It's Vaz in goal, Kane Vincent-Young, Burgess and Darba, Lee, looking forward to seeing him, Rakeem, the Dream, Harper, second best midfielder at the club, Cameron Humphreys, the real Eduardo, Shawnee Aluko, Tyrese John Jules, and Caden Jackson. I like that team. It's very much it's a second string, but it's still a good team. You know, realistically, this could be the team that plays in the pizza crust challenge, the energy drink trophy, all that jazz. But I like it. I'm looking forward to seeing a few players kind of get minutes in the legs. Pre-season guys, let's not have a flounce if we lose 5-0 today. I don't think we will.
Not.
But there you go. But no, I mean, there's a few players kind of that we haven't really seen for a while, isn't there? Burgess, I think he played a couple of times under McKenna. Harper, Eduardo showed so much promise last year, and kind of, bless him, he's been beset by injuries and stuff like that, hasn't he?
Yeah.
But no, and Darba, looking forward to seeing him, and just looking forward to kind of seeing some of the boys get a bit of a run out and start the season in a good vein.
Yeah.
We like a good vein, don't we, Ross?
Yes, we do. We do. Thanks, Bono, my friend. There we go. Let's see what happens against Southend. So, Mike, how was the food, my friend?
I haven't been one of the first to complain over the years about the pie. It's now up. The game has been upped big time. Lasagna with garlic bread. If this is what's to come this season, we're top two, guaranteed.
So, final pre-season game done and dusted. A 3-1 win for Town against Southend United, and I'm joined by good old Matty Worrell. Matt, pre-season's done and dusted. Your thoughts overall on pre-season and tonight's performance?
I think obviously starting with pre-season overall before going into the specifics, been a good sort of programme I think for us, some good tests in there with obviously West Ham, Arsenal behind closed doors, Palace. I think it was nice to round off with a win, especially at home, get some good feeling and a bit of optimism going into the season. Not that I think the feel-good factor needs any help around here, but tonight I think there was clearly some good patterns of play. I think you could see there was a few errors in a couple of games, a couple of players' games I should say, but overall that's what pre-season is, and I think, you know, with 26-27k behind them on Saturday when the real business starts, I think we'll be in a pretty good place having come through that pretty challenging pre-season schedule.
And some people will say that was the second team, but there's a chance for Kieran McKenna to see different players. John Jules on the score sheet again, and then Labadapo, he scored, and of course Greg Lee with a good finish. I was right in front of it, I was like, oh, that's a great finish. Who else stood out for you?
Well, obviously I would like to start with John Jules. I thought he was probably my player of the first half. He played some lovely passes through, played one down the channel to Caden Jackson. Greg Lee must have been kicking himself, pinching himself when he got in front of goal. He was the highest man on the pitch. Nice to see Fladke get a run out, made some smart saves. I think overall it was less about individual players standing out, but more good to see that those second players, as they are, or if you want to call them that, were still fitting into that sort of brand of football that we were playing. There were some nice triangles, some nice link-up play. Caden Jackson and John Jules, I thought, actually made quite a good partnership. They seemed to rotate in that position quite well. So, I think that was quite a confident performance. And then obviously you get the main men, as it were, your Burns and your Morseys on at the end for a couple of minutes. So, I think just a good team performance, really, rather than anyone leaping out.
And of course, we'll be back here this Saturday, Bolton, the big kick-off. What's your thoughts, mate? What's your prediction for the season?
I mean, I'm hopelessly optimistic with Town. I think we've got to be aiming top six. I as much as you don't want to go through the agony of the playoffs, how good would it be to win at Wembley? But the town's buzzing. It's all anyone's talking about. Saturday cannot come quickly enough. There'll be 27,000 or however many in there. I'll be absolutely bouncing. That's a good first test on the opening day, but got to be positive, haven't we? Feel good factor, the McKenna factors ringing around the club. I think it's going to be a good season up the town.
Up the town. Okay, up next, I'm joined by good old Karl and George. We just witnessed Town's final pre-season game of the campaign. 3-1 win against Southend United. I'm going to start with George first.
Oh, yeah.
Your thoughts overall on pre-season?
Yeah, I thought we had a good schedule, really. Everything that we wanted to achieve out of the pre-season schedule we got. Nice to see some new players, especially tonight. Players that we don't think are going to start on Saturday, but I thought a lot of them have come across really well. I'd like to shout out Haladki, really.
Yeah.
I think Walton, we've all known for a long time, has nailed on to be number one, but he's done nothing wrong in pre-season, and I think that's a theme throughout, really. I think everyone's performed well, so I'm confident. Much more confident this year than I was last year. We know what we're dealing with this year. Bit of an unknown entity last year, but we know what players we've got now, so I'm happy.
Cool. And Karl, your thoughts overall, my friend? It's good to see goals, but it's pre-season, isn't it?
Yeah, it is pre-season, you're right. But I think, if you see them as our second team as such, that's a pretty strong second team. And I thought Edwards worked his Lincoln socks off tonight. I thought he was fantastic and very solid in what he was doing. I felt that Humphreys was very industrial, and I was actually quite impressed with Burgess, really. And I think as a backup in the air, I don't think he lost a header. So I think you've got those players that can fill those gaps that we've got. But no, let's just hope that we can kick on, because if anything, we probably played worse when most of the first team came on. But that maybe with a little bit of thought of Saturday in mind. But I thought Southend gave it a go as well. How many teams will give us that much space this coming season is going to be the question, and that's what we've got to learn to get around, because that's where we failed last season.
I want to get you both now involved. Predictions for the season, boys, then. It's always a cliche on these last videos before the big kick-off. George, what do you reckon?
Well, like I said before, we were going into last season with a bit of a team that we knew were full of good players, but we didn't really know much about them because we've not seen them, I think this year we know what we're dealing with. We seem to have added players that we've come up against before that have done really well. Harness, Greg Lee, I always remember playing well against us. So I'm confident this year, more confident than I was last year, and I was confident then. So listen, we need automatic. I don't like the idea of playoffs. I don't like the gamble. It's a lottery then, so let's just go for it. I say we've got nothing to lose. We've got everything to lose this year, because if we don't achieve what we need to do, we can't keep staying in this division, because as much as we can, sing from the rooftops about the owners and the injection of cash they're putting in, they're not going to keep doing it and doing it and doing it. Eventually, something's just got to click, and now's the year to do it. So,
Karl, is it the season, mate?
Has to be top two. The only thing I would add on about tonight is obviously I think the referee got it wrong in terms of there was 22 substitutions. How he can only give 3 minutes? I don't get that.
Definitely, mate. Well, Karl, George, thank you very much, boys. Up next, I'm joined by good old Mark Beck. How you doing, my friend, overall?
Good, mate. Yeah, really good. Glad to be back here.
Yeah, definitely, mate. With me, of course.
Obviously,
of course.
Obviously.
Yeah, of course. We just watched Town win against Southend 3-1 in pre-season friendly, but it's always good to just be out here. What's your overall thoughts on pre-season so far? Done, actually. It's overall now.
It's all done and dusted. If you look at results, which people tend to, they probably shouldn't, but lost to teams that we probably expect to lose to. Your Arsenal's, Palace, West Ham we lost to. Beat the teams you should, Wimbledon, Southend, Needham Market obviously, and then got a good result against Millwall. So if you look at it just results, it's been pretty good. But I think there's been more signs in there of what we've really been lacking at times. I think you look at the games against the teams that are in the Premier League, we've actually shown, apart from Arsenal, but you kind of expect that, but the other ones we've shown a response, and I think that's at times last season we really lacked a response at times, and that's what McKenna's really been looking for. And it's whether that's just been from going behind and we've got a goal back, or a complete second half performance, maybe not being at the races in the first half and being able to show what we can do in the second half. I think Saturday was a good example of that as well. I think it was a little bit down on dumps, especially on Twitter, like it usually likes to be, that we were 1-0 down. And obviously what happened with Millwall last year, we kind of had a bit of a torrid time against them down here last year, but to come back and almost nearly snatch that game at the end, it's good. And I mean, the most important thing for me today is that Freddie Ladapo scored again, because it's 2-2. It's what you want, striker in red hot form, and hopefully he carries on. And yeah, we've got that striker that we've been craving for a long while.
And we're just going to segue into sexy stuff, transfers. We saw another one through the door yesterday after a lovely day at open day. Then Leif Davis comes in on a permanent deal from Leeds. What's your thoughts on the transfer window so far? Because, of course, we're going to have a month of it still when the ball kicks first on Saturday.
I think it's very understated. I think our business has been understated, but good. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I think last year was very much blockbuster, and we were signing, other teams' best players. The likes of Fraser and Piggott was seen as other teams' best players and really doing some damage. But I think the biggest part of our transfer window is perhaps retaining the likes of Wolf and Burns. We could have easily traded them in and traded the crown jewels and tried to gamble and get a little bit more, but I think keeping those and keeping a settled team of what we've got, getting Walton done in January was again set us up really nicely. And I think the business we've done has filled areas that we've needed with good experienced players who know the level and are really going to add something. And Leif Davis last night, don't know too much about him. If he's good enough for Bielsa, I'm happy with that. But like you said, I don't think we're too far away. Maybe another striker. I'm a big fan of Ladapo. I think it's going to be a really good signing, but I think maybe just someone to ease the burden for him. I'm not 100% sure Jackson will be a good goal scorer for us, but I think he'll play a good part in the season. Same with John Jules. May not be an out-and-out goal scorer, but will definitely contribute. But you'd probably want someone else just to help Ladapo out. But yeah, the C word's still about. We don't know whether he's going to come or not. For me personally, I don't think we desperately need him. It would be nice. I'll take it, but I think get another striker in, and I think we're pretty much there. And I'm really happy. Like I said, I think it's been really understated business. I think a lot of people haven't been too excited by it, but you look at the likes of what Wigan did last year, signed some really good pros, and that's what you need to get out of this division.
Bring on Saturday, Mark.
Yeah, I've tipped Bolton to do really well, and I know we've got a little bit of history of them there, and I think we owe them at least we need to get one victory over them, whether it be up north or down here. But yeah, we've got a really tough start to the season. I think the first 3 games is a real acid test to see where this team is at. We've got Bolton, who, again, I think a lot, including myself, tipped them to do well this season. Forest Green, they've lost a lot of their better players, but again, riding high on momentum of coming up. And then you've got MK Dons, lost Twine and Darling, but still very dangerous. So I think those first 3 games are going to be key, but we've got to get off to a good start here. And I'm going to say it now: if we score from a corner on Saturday, we'll win the league. That's how big it is.
Clip that up.
Yeah,
clip that
there
up.
we go.
There we
So
go.
no, I'm not going to give you a prediction, but surely it's this year. Our time, maybe. It's got to be.
Time. Cheers, Mark.
That's all right, mate.
Up next, I'm joined by good old Peachy. Always good to see you, my friend. We're going to make this short and sweet, just like us two. Your thoughts overall of pre-season, my friend?
This pre-season, like I think Mark just said, it's how you take it really. You can look at results. Like beat Needham 7-0. That's like a training game. Obviously, the Arsenal first half, we won't go near that. Then you've got to have them sort of tough games, like Palace away as well. But we got a good 3-0 Wimbledon. And I watched the Millwall game on the stream, and I was very impressed second half. We should have won that. And then again today, a lot of the you could say the fringe players got more minutes, but obviously McKenna brought on the big guns at the end, and a brilliant goal from Ladapo. What a head, and where's Burns? Beautiful cross. But yeah, pre-season, it all matters on Saturday. Getting 3 points, that's my main concern now.
Yeah, big kick-off, Bolton here. Going to be 27, whatever crowns it will be. It's going to be an amazing atmosphere. What's your thoughts for the season ahead, my friend?
Like I said on the social, it's got to be. We deserve a good season. We've watched a bit. Like I say, the last 10 years has been quite a lot of dross. That's nothing against previous players, maybe a previous owner, but we won't go into him. But now we've got the new owners in. Everything seems to be clicking off the pitch. And I think now, you've got some of the summer signings we've made. They're athletes, and then Greg Lee, Ladapo. Don Ball, hopefully he's not too bad. He's obviously not played today a bit, but he's an absolute unit. So I'll start every season. I think we're going to win the league, but I really hope top 2. But top 6 has got to be the minimum. But as long as we back, if we don't start well, what we don't want is fans putting on the doom and gloom it's the end of the world. We just got to back the team. It's a long season. But I firmly believe we will get there. Snippet.
So finally, I'm joined by good old George. George, thanks for joining me first of all. What's your thoughts on tonight? We're rounding off the pre-season with a nice win.
Well, thanks for having me on once again. Back at beautiful Portman Road first time since April for me. This West Ham game, but yeah, pre-season been pretty decent. We've lost where we possibly have lost against Premier League opposition, but won when we've had to, and we've got that good result against Millwall. 3-1 tonight. I'll take that. Maybe not the goal we conceded. Shouldn't have conceded that at all. But more minutes in the players' legs. Some other players we haven't seen play before in a team, and I think we maybe have seen why they haven't played, unfortunately. But everybody played, everybody done well. I'm happy with that. I'll take that. Saturday's now getting ever closer and ever nervous. I've wear a new shirt. I'm so nervous, Ross. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, and I've been asking everyone on this video so far your predictions for this season. What's your thoughts? And I think this has got to be a title-winning shirt. Hopefully it can be. But what's your thoughts overall?
My thoughts overall is we have to be at least fighting to get into top 6. Have to. That's a minimum requirement. It's top 6. We can't miss out on this year. I think if we do, something's going wrong. But we have to at least get top 6 as a minimum. Then look a little bit higher up, but just got to get into those playoff places first, then look up. But Saturday's going to be a tough game. Bolton, we saw what happened last season. 5-2. I was there. I remember that. Still haunts me to this day that we lost 5-2. And then we lost 2-1 to them. Yeah, we lost 2-1 to them away, didn't we?
I think 2-0.
Or 2-0.
Yeah.
Well, I'm being optimistic there with
Yeah.
that 2-1, but yeah, 2-0. But just got to start off on the right foot on Saturday, get 3 points against a tough side, and then go from there. I think we just have to take it game by game. We can't look into 10 games down the line. We've got to take it one game at a time, just get that 3 points, then just go from there. But no, Saturday, big game, and roll it on.
Yeah, roll on Saturday. See you there.